He weighs 220 in the backfield. And they give it to him. He dives.
Haskins for the first down. This is on Michigan's first drive here, and I really love the call just because you need to get the offense on track. You need to be assertive in a hostile environment, and Michigan does just that. So it's pretty simple blocking up front, just zone blocking. The key block to look for here, we don't have to look at a whole lot in this one, but it's Zinter, Stuber, boom, right here. Get any sort of movement. And Haskins is just a simple give. He's just going to go for like a goal line dive over this block. Good job from Vistardis. He's going to pass off this to the left guard here, get to the second level. This linebacker is going to be flying up here towards the A gap. Vistardis does a good job putting a gap in that. And then it just becomes a simple one-on-one gap. No one's blocking this gentleman right here, this linebacker. You got one-on-one block on the left side or on the right side here for Honigford, and just make sure he doesn't get through. So it just becomes a Haskins versus linebacker. And with 1 yard to go, all Haskins needs to do here, you can see there's the good movement on number 95, right? This is the key block. All Haskins has to do, jump over this, jump at it, jump off the butt of it, whatever you want to call it, head towards that gap, and then just jump. It's very rare that number 18 here would leave his feet to meet Haskins at his center of gravity. As he jumps, it's going to just take his momentum past the line that needs to be gained here right around the 35-yard line. So it's just a physics problem at this point, right? It's just my center of gravity is higher than yours. You can take out my legs all I want, but because Haskins leaves his feet here, he's diving forwards. You're not going to stop a running back of that size. You know, commentator said it, 6'1", 225 pounds. With that momentum, that speed, and just being higher in this point, again, it's like a goal line dive, right? All you need to do is get that ball across the 35-yard line. With the movement that you get out of Stuber and Zinter, they really displace 95 a yard, yard and a half, and Haskins does the rest. I'm surprised we don't see more of this sort of style on 4th and short. It's really a good way to ensure you get that 1 yard. And again, I love the aggressiveness. Michigan was here to win, and not punting is a really good call here. Gets the offense going.
Here they come. McNamara. He's got to get it off. McNamara throws. It's Corum. And Corum dives.
This is why you spend days in the weight room, okay? Let's switch to this alternate view. I like it a little bit better. Actually, just for routes, the only thing we can really see is, this is an air call. Who is that? Shoemaker? Shoemaker going across formation. Everything else is pretty deep, okay? So we can't see anything beyond that, but that's Shoemaker going on the cross. That's short from the sticks. If we switch to this other angle here real quick, you can see this wasn't really here, right? So you have the eyes for McNamara. He's looking somewhere over here, probably for A.J. Henning, who's going to be coming across on seemingly a deep cross or post route. But this isn't a valid option. Number 5 here, this crossing route is going right there. It's short of the sticks already, so this isn't an option, and you can see pressure starting to get to McNamara already. So what actually happens on the pressure? So you get 4 coming for Wisconsin. Boom, 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 and boom. Okay, so Michigan correctly recognizes this. You're going to have Ryan Hayes recognize this. Keegan's going to, you can see his eyes starting to see that this is a threat on the outside here, coming over here. He doesn't get enough movement laterally here to deal with the speed of a linebacker here, but good recognition here. Again, you have overloaded bodies here with Blake Corman as pass protection. He probably should have broken out this way just to assist with this rush, but you do have someone dropping off who was initially at the line of scrimmage over on the left or the right side of the line for Michigan here. So good job overall in pass protection. Again, Keegan, though, didn't get lateral movement enough to deal with that. So you can see that guy starting to threaten to the outside of Keegan. Good movement, good recognition of McNamara to bug out here. And then good secondary movement here from Blake Corum, realizing, all right, I'm not a help in pass protection anymore. Let's leak out. Just good football IQ. And then let's switch to the other view here. This is, again, just why you spend time squatting, deadlift, right here. Boom. That's against a linebacker right there. Boom. Crushes him and gets that extra 2 yards. Huge on 3rd and 7 to pick up that extra yard. Again, that's what separates Blake Corum from a good running back to what he is, which is an excellent running back.
4th and 2. McNamara sprints out, throws on the move, caught, and a first down.
Really nice catch here. And to anyone asking, does Michigan trust their quarterback? 4th and 2, this is a really tough catch. If anyone watched the Lions game, this is the exact play that Jared Goff could not complete on 4th and 1 late in that game against the Bears. So you got to speed out here, go route on the outside, shallow cross here for Eric Gall. On the offensive line, you're just blocking, shading to your left here. Just don't let anything come in. You got Haskins here going to the left as well, ensuring nothing leaks upfield here to get in the way of this pass. First read is to Roman Wilson all the way. Let's shift to this alternate view here just to look at the blocking a little bit better. So you can see everyone on the offensive line, that first step, boom, just get to the left side here. Don't let anything through. Again, it's not about penetration, or it is all about penetration, just not allowing it on the front side here to get in the way of the pass. Good job from Roman Wilson making a good cut there. Boom. This is all just about speed, right? Man coverage, one-on-one, that quick out there. And look at the alignment for the cornerback as well. Okay, it's hard to tell a little bit from that initial angle, but he is pretty head up on that alignment, that cornerback. You can see they're right at about the hashes, just a little bit outside. You should be able to win that with a decisive cut. So good job from Roman Wilson and good timing. Look at right when he's cutting, McNamara's already in his throwing motion. Okay, and this is not it's not an easy throw, right? That has to be on the money. It can't be behind him really, and he puts it right on the money, right in front of his face mask there. Good catch from Roman Wilson. Again, this is a young player who hasn't gotten a whole lot of time yet, and he's making a really big time catch, and you can't really throw that much better. That's a great window and a really good angle to see just how precise that throw is. So 4th and 2, takes good execution from both the quarterback and wide receiver. It's a well-run route, well-timed throw, and put in a really good spot. So RPS win for Michigan and just well executed for the first down.
And here's the Flea flicker. Is anybody open in the end zone?
Gus Johnson with the call. Love to see it. All right, so this is just a little jet sweep action, right? This is right after the 4th down play. Love it. The tendency for Michigan on first down, usually run the ball, right? So have this little jet sweep action. It looks like just zone blocking up front, nothing out of the ordinary. And the two main players on this little slant and up route, right? Slant kind of turns into a post route here for Cornelius Johnson. Watch this guy. He's kind of rotating up as the high safety. All he needs to do is take 1 or 2 steps here, and that's all the space you need, right? So you can see on this fake run action, as long as 21 doesn't gain depth, right? Because right about here, it's both this guy and the cornerback, who's guarding Cornelius Johnson. As long as his momentum is taking him sort of this way in on this slant, as well as this guy just not gaining depth, as soon as Cornelius Johnson cuts here deep and goes towards the middle of the field here, you've won this route, right? That's all it is what is Michigan's tendency? They usually run the ball on first down. As long as you're not getting depth there, as soon as you see the handoff, right, that triggers 21 there to not really gain any depth. There's nothing behind him. And only now, right? Look where he is. He's on the 25-yard line. Cornelius Johnson has a full head of steam. He's already going on this route. 21's already out of position, right? Only now he's kind of geared down. Now he has to try to get back in gear while Cornelius Johnson is a blur on your screen, right? So that's just not a winning battle that either of those defensive backs are going to win in this scenario. And give a lot of credit to Cade McNamara, right? That 4th down was a really big throw, and this is an even bigger one. Right in stride, back of the end zone, really well timed, boom. Can't get much easier than that. Blocking, pretty straightforward, right? Nothing really to mention. It's a pretty quick pitch and toss. Only really guy to take note of here. Keegan losing a little bit here. Good block from Schoonmaker to ensure he doesn't get any depth there, but plenty clean enough for McNamara to deliver a nice ball. Good loft. And just, again, really well executed from the offense.
And 8. And McNamara rolling out, sets up deep. McNamara to the sideline.
Another really well delivered ball here. Hard play action. What is the offensive line doing? Again, it's a hard play action. So boom, 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 boom. You got split action looking like coming here. I can't tell what Cornelius Johnson's running here. It could be an out route. He could continue this vertical. Hard to say. Inside release, out route. He's gaining quite a bit of depth here. You got a zone for Wisconsin. The linebackers are coming up on this hard play action to Blake Corum here. Then they're going to drop back into their zone. This guy looks like he's going to get the flats Because the boot action is taking McNamara this way, that's going to take the safeties naturally towards this direction just because of the direction of the boot. So that's what opens up, as well as the inside release for Roman Wilson. That's going to trigger those safeties towards the middle of the field and open up this intermediate route for Roman Wilson on this play. So I would say the only real negative is late. You do have number 5, this linebacker here who comes up. He sneaks his way through this C gap, it appears, and Honigford needs to do a better job keeping him. You can see right there a little bit of a lunge there, not necessary for Honigford right there, right? Honigford is getting he's lunging a bit here. He just has to notice how everyone else is just kind of staying in, right? This is a play that needs to develop. Only now is McNamara starting to turn, recognize, read the defense. So Honigford has no reason to be lunging like he is in this scenario. So he is able to deliver with time still, but it's a little bit too close for comfort, right? Honigford needs to realize, yeah, I don't need to lunge in this scenario. Can't really see Kojo, as I said, but Roman Wilson finds a gap in the in between the zones there. Well thrown ball here just over the outstretched arms of that cornerback. Roman Wilson probably could have done a little bit better job to give himself some space to the sideline, right? He had a illegal touching penalty later in this game, but good job getting to the ground, securing this catch. Not an easy catch, but well-delivered ball, enough loft on it for Roman Wilson to come down with the grab there.
Offensive scores. Batters have got to quit putting their defense in a tough spot. And the first down, Haskins.
Not a huge run, but getting any sort of gain, 7 yards here for Michigan is a good thing to do against Wisconsin. Split zone here. Thing to notice is this guy's going to creep down. You're actually going to have 3 on the second level here plus 5. That's 8 here for Wisconsin. You only have 5 here, 6, 7 blockers for Michigan. So you actually, with this guy coming down, you're in a losing numbers game if you're Michigan on this split zone blocking. Let's kind of look at what the blocks here for Michigan are. So they're actually on the backside going to be one-on-one blocking here with Hayes, bringing Honigford here. They're leaving this defensive tackle unblocked with the hope that he comes upfield and Honigford can seal him off. That does happen on the backside. You can see Hayes there. There's Honigford. That guy's out of the play already. Okay, so fullback is going to get the first guy off of the butt of this combo block. So you get the combo block here between Vistardis and Keegan here. Boom, boom. Keegan's going to drop off to get a linebacker, and then the lead blocker here is getting through this hole to block the first guy he sees. It's going to be this guy. Keegan's going to drop off, and like I said, he's going to pick up the first linebacker he sees after that double. So you can see good blocks there from both, who is that, Schoonmaker and Keegan on the second level. They pick up their assignments really well. And then the only other block, again, Vistardis on the double team. Front side, you have, I believe that's Zinter, and you got Stuber here again. Good blocks here. So everyone wins their blocks, right? The only thing is this is the 8th man unblocked. He's going to meet Haskins in the hole. The hole is well formed. It just happens that because they bring that extra safety down in this scenario, boom, there's a good block. Good read from Haskins. That extra second to gear down there and cut off the butt of Shoemaker, that trips up this safety. This safety is committed now to this backside hole that is kind of forming, but because Haskins cuts off of this block, that gives him just enough of a gap to get skinny here, dust off that block, and pick up the first down. So good blocking, good running from Haskins to create that extra miss.
McNamara guns it. Caught and a first.
Nice third down pickup here to Sainristil on the outside. Looking at the routes here, a little bit awkward on the top of your screen here. You're gonna have just kind of an inside release dig route here from Eric All. The awkwardness is on the out here for Roman Wilson. Not a whole lot of room. He's going to turn that into an out and up. I think that's just because this initial out route isn't being looked at, so he turns that into an out and up. Pretty natural. You're going to have an outside release out route here for Sainristil. This is obviously what gets thrown. Dalen Baldwin on a go route on the outside, okay? Pressure's pretty interesting for Wisconsin. This guy's going to fake before dropping out into zone coverage here. You're going to bring 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5. These two guys are going to flood the B gap on the right side of Michigan's offensive line. Let's look at the blocking first here. See, Michigan does pretty well to pick it up. Good job, especially from the right side of the line. Vistardis Zinter do a good job recognizing this. With these two linebackers, it's not really an effective blitz just because they're kind of blitzing the same gap. Yes, they are getting push here, but you can see by the time McNamara is throwing, Vistardis and Zinter are able to hold up kind of three guys there between the two of them. So maybe could have done a little bit better job of Keegan passing this guy off over to Hayes here and then helping out. But regardless, enough protection for the time of this route to develop for McNamara. McNamara is looking at this safety, probably seeing if he is dropping deep to help one-on-one for Baldwin. In that case, he probably likes the out route for Sainristil. That's what he's reading, just waiting for the cut. Pretty well delivered ball. Again, it's pretty good coverage. So the ball is delivered. I think a key aspect of this, delivered on the outside. You can see this defensive back is on the inside slightly of Sainristil. So for where the ball needs to be, there's enough space there that Sainristil has created in that route to make that completion. So not an easy catch, right? Not the best ball, and a little wobble to it, but good job securing the catch for Sainristil to pick up the first down.
McNamara unloads. It is caught at the 10.
Hell of a catch for Roman Wilson on 3rd and 10 here. Let's first look at the routes here, okay? Got a crossing route for Eric All. You got a kind of a deeper in route, dig route there for Sainristil. Is that Cornelius Johnson? Can't tell. The outside, you got a go route. Could be a hitch and go. Can't really see that. And then you do have kind of a stop and go here for Roman Wilson on the outside. Obviously, this is what gets targeted. So I'll cycle through this just so you can see the routes there. Looks like the read all the way. Actually, it maybe wasn't. So it looks like the read for McNamara is actually to this back safety. It looks like he's looking back here. So maybe this was the first option. Hard to say. But he comes off of that. Actually, you know what? The more I think about it, he's probably looking over here to get the safety to go this way for the stop and go. I've just convinced myself of that on the fly. That's 100% probably what happened. Okay, so anyway, I could be wrong. But anyway, let's look at the rush for Wisconsin. Okay, they're threatening to rush 5. This guy drops back into coverage 1, 2, 3, and 4. This guy comes here. Main thing to watch, this guy beats Keegan, or is it this man? One of these guys beats Keegan to the inside. Let's watch it happen. Boom, that guy on the outside. All right, so you got this guy rushing to the outside. This guy's going to threaten to the outside, cut inside of Keegan, gets the actual pressure on Cade McNamara. You can see that's a good move. Secondary pressure. Vistardis gets beat inside here. And you got 2 rushers coming in at the time of the pass. So that's potentially why this was thrown a little bit short. You can see McNamara doesn't really step into this throw that much. And it's a bummer because he did have Roman Wilson with a step, right? If you look right here, you got a yard or 2 of separation from Roman Wilson. If that's out in front of him, you're looking at 6. But fast forward here, don't have a lot of time on this one. Look at the route from Roman Wilson, though. Okay, there's McNamara trying to look off 18, that safety, and there's your double move. Boom, boom, gear down, keep it going. Nice catch.
On where he actually touched, but they snap it anyways. There's McCarthy.
4th and goal, you got J.J. McCarthy in here. I talked about this on the podcast, but real quick, I love bringing McCarthy in this scenario because it builds his confidence. You get him in a hostile environment, 4th and goal, really big play here. Get him that confidence of scoring a touchdown in a key moment, in a key game. Sure, McNamara could have done this, but getting J.J. McCarthy that experience is a big deal. These two guys are just going to dive. Stuber is the main guy you're going to follow. Just get behind the butts right here. You got Sainristil push behind, Haskins push behind, and good job from Keegan for recognizing, hey, I can help get behind this as well, and it's just a massive humanity, okay? There's nothing beyond massive humanity. You can see there's the push from Sainristil, Haskins, Keegan. They all get a shout out here because J.J. McCarthy is stopped right there, right? Good job from the linebacker. You're stopped. That's not a touchdown, but because you have that massive humanity, no knees are hitting on the ground. He's just kind of laying on Stuber at this point. But again, really smart move, I think, to just get your backup in a key position like this. Get him the feeling of adrenaline. Get him just that experience of contributing in a big way in a big game, and it's fun to see. So yeah, I think shout out to Keegan for sure on this one, on getting behind late, but I think Haskins and Sainer still do a really good job providing that initial kick there, and I do think Stuber does a good job kind of forming that bridge from the half-yard line into the end zone there. So it's just kind of a weird play. QB sneaks are always really odd, but it's fun to see kind of the building blocks of their Stuber. You got Sainer still, Haskins from behind, and somehow Keegan makes his way behind this play to push it in. So it's fun, man. It's great to get McCarthy that sort of feeling in this sort of environment.
2nd and 7 at the 13. Here's your quarterback run, as you talked about. McCarthy.
This looks like arc read. You guys should correct me if I'm wrong here, but the main read is on this gentleman, okay? You're going to have this jet sweep motion. He's getting to this safety. That's what he wants to do. Lead blocker here, this is what's happening. J.J. McCarthy is reading off of this end. If he goes inside here, that's going to give the leverage for Shoemaker to get him cut off to the inside here. And with the fake give here to Corum, that's going to give enough room for J.J. McCarthy to keep on the outside, okay? So it all surrounds this guy. Does he go inside? Does he not go inside? With him inside, again, that creates a numbers advantage and gives that leverage. You can see right there that leverage necessary for Shoemaker to get him inside and create a lane to the outside with a one-on-one block. Then you just have one-on-one between this safety and J.J. McCarthy. You're looking at least a couple of yards before they meet, and that's the case. J.J. McCarthy's able to edge him out. So in terms of other blocks, one-on-one block for Ryan Hayes, that does a good job. Double right here between Vistardis Keegan. Keegan's releasing to the second level. Backside, just don't let anybody through, right? So it's pretty simple, well executed. I would like the block probably to do a little bit better job for Keegan to stay engaged on the linebacker here, right? Just get upfield and edge this way instead of just kind of popping and letting him disengage and flow to the play. That's a nitpick, I would say. Number 5 doesn't really make a play on McCarthy here, so actually a pretty good job flowing to this play for number 9. He actually has a decent shot at cutting McCarthy off after a couple yards, but McCarthy again showing that speed. And then the only other nitpick I would say is get a little bit better block here on the outside for Sainristil. If he's able to really lock him up with McCarthy beating number 9 to the outside here, it could be potentially a first down, even a bigger play for closer to 10-15 yards. But regardless, really well executed. It's the correct read based on this defensive end setting this edge, right? He's setting this edge trying to meet Shoemaker here, and he just beats him around the edge there.
Haskins in the backfield. They give it to him straight ahead, and Haskins with a big gain and
one of the biggest runs of the day for the Wolverines. Split zone action, so you're bringing honing forward across the formation here. You're going to have Shoemaker, I believe, as the lead blocker here through this hole as well. Haskins is supposed to be following this block off of the butt of the fullback here. He's going to go backside here. Despite the flow of this play, you're going to have the linebackers kind of flowing this way as well. But you'll see we'll want to watch this defensive end. So let's first just take a look at that defensive end, what he does. So you kind of have a combo block here between Hayes and Keegan on this defensive end before Hayes gets out to this linebacker. He executes this really well. This defensive end is going to go flying upfield, and Keegan's going to let him, and that's a smart move. You can see, sure, you get upfield as long as you don't get inside of me, right? You don't, that sounds weird, but you know what I mean. As long as you don't get to the right side of me, you can go upfield as much as you want, and that creates this huge gap, right? So we can look at what's going on front side. Blocks are here for the most part. Bastard is doing a good job one-on-one on the nose tackle, but you can see this gap forming because the left guard here, Keegan, just completely eviscerated this defensive end. So because of that, this backside hole is here. It's a good job of penetration from this linebacker meeting the fullback in the backfield, but at this point, it doesn't even matter, right? The blocks are there. You do have Honig Ford coming across. He's going to take this unblocked defensive lineman right here. They're letting him through. Stuber's going to take defensive end as well, one-on-one. But they're letting this defensive tackle through here. Honig Ford's going to block him out. And then first guy through the hole is the assignment for the fullback cutting off at the end of that. So technically everyone is blocked, right? I mentioned Vistardis do lose some contact there from Zinter, but at this point it doesn't matter because this whole backside opened up because of the misplay there. And between that and the safeties, that's the only thing in the way of a 7-8 yard gain. So can't really get past the safeties there with that cut. But regardless, it's a nice third down pickup.
McNamara all day to throw it. Drops it down. Haskins out of the backfield.
This play may not seem very big, but in the grand scheme of things, I think this is such a good sign for the offense. Okay, further out, you got a deep cross from Roman Wilson. It's a little bit deeper than this. Looks like you have a go route here and then an inside release deep out route. That's kind of what it looks like to me. Again, this deep cross is closer back to here. So you're going to bring 4 on pressure. Initially, it's going to look like this guy is coming up, but he is dropping back into his zone. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the blitz. This is the guy to watch. So let's watch the pressure first. Really good play from Keegan here. So he recognizes Eric All is eyeing this guy on the edge, right? The endmost guy. If he comes, he has him one-on-one here. He's going to recognize that this guy is going to loop around the outside. As this guy backs off, Hayes will already have this guy one-on-one. Keegan recognizes that and completely kind of bypasses him to go help Eric All on the edge there. So that's really good recognition of, hey, I don't have anybody here. I might as well shift over here, help the tight end out on that block, and he does a good job getting over there, and this is a nice clean pocket for Cade McNamara partially because of this. So besides that one-on-one blocking here, you got 3 offensive linemen on 2 defensive linemen there. And the only other thing I didn't mention, Haskins initially in pass protection, he's going out on a route here. This is eventually what gets thrown. So the reason I included this, I alluded to early on, is nothing seems to be open, right? We don't have the all-22. We can't see what's open downfield. But McNamara is reading seemingly something, probably looking for this crossing route. He's probably eyeing this guy as he drops back. That conflicts with this crossing route, so that's not there. He's going to appropriately check down here to Haskins, right? It's 1st and 10, take the easy yards. And by him doing that, that sets up your offense at a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4 scenario. Nice move here from Haskins. And that's just huge for your offense. It sets you ahead of the chains. The playbook opens up quite a bit at 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 10. And I just like to see that play from McNamara. I think it's a really smart play overall.
Because there's 2, then you're going to have jam corners generally or flat players. McNamara to the sideline. And caught. Nice.
Really nice back shoulder throw here on the slight play action. Wisconsin's going to bring 5 on the pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe this gentleman 5 on a delayed blitz. So they're dropping these guys back into coverage. This guy is responsible for Eric All on his wheel route. So he's going to wheel and then up here. So this guy's going to follow on this route. Cornelius Johnson on the outside does a kind of deep dig route here. Don't really see what Roman Wilson runs. I think it would probably make sense for this to be a corner route or, probably a corner route. But we don't really see that. And then you'll have Haskins leaking out late as well. So that's kind of what the whole picture looks like. Let's first look at the protection. Keegan does a good job here again. You got one-on-one blocks here. You actually got 2-on-1 on the right side, one-on-one with Vistardis. Zinter is here getting this guy. Good job from Shoemaker. This guy's eventually going to drop back into coverage as well, so he's going to redirect over here. But Keegan, he doesn't have anybody, so he's going to get some depth here, back up, assess the situation. He's expecting probably another linebacker to come. Wisconsin does that a lot, so by Keegan there getting depth, he's able to assess, okay, what am I looking at? Do we have the numbers? And then he recognizes, oh, here comes the blitzer. I'm here to protect. And at the time of the throw, it's really well done. So good job from Keegan here, keeping his head on a swivel, recognizing that late blitz and picking him up. Everyone else on the offensive line does really well. So because you have man-to-man coverage here, what this dig route here, you can see kind of the butt of Cornelius Johnson. Him on the in route is going to take that safety with him. That's going to vacate this sideline a bit, open that up. Because you have single coverage here with the linebacker, that's a really tough assignment down the sideline for a linebacker to keep up with Eric All. I think Michigan likes this matchup with the athleticism of Eric All. So McNamara is probably looking at that safety, following Cornelius Johnson inside on that dig route. And now you can see after he saw that vacated, or maybe that guy's backing up onto Roman Wilson's corner route, you can see he's going to have a one-on-one matchup on the sideline with Eric All. Because of the depth here that the linebacker has, right? He's covered this here. So if the ball's in any sort of vicinity here, that's at risk for a turnover. By underthrowing this, again, look at all the open field here. He can adjust to that, right? So by throwing to the sideline and slightly behind Eric All, you give Eric All a really clean look at that ball. He can stop, adjust. Good job from Eric All. You'll see his eyes are already looking back relatively early once he's up the sideline. So this is likely called, right? They're understanding the alignment and how the linebacker's likely going to play this. So it's a good opportunity for a back shoulder throw, and execution is there. So good catch on the sideline, and just really well thrown ball.
McNamara off his back foot in the end zone.
Touchdown, Cornelius Johnson. I'll show the pressure first. You're bringing 5 for Wisconsin. Let me get the tool here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Michigan doesn't pick this up really well, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in to protect. You should have numbers here, and I'm not even counting Blake Corum there on the backside. Of course, with where the blitz is coming, Blake Corum's not going to be of much help here. He's probably looking over at these bodies for a potential blitz off the edge to help Eric All. That's probably why he's set over here. And you do have bodies over here. So I really like, again, Keegan does a good job recognizing this. He's going to kind of shove Vistardis off. You can see his head. He's targeting this nose tackle here and shoving Vistardis this way. You're going to have one-on-one on the outside with Stuber on this defensive end here. But because these two guys are coming, it's wise to have both Zinter and Vistardis here to pick that up kind of through the A gap on the right side here. So you can see Vistardis does a good job right there picking up that first linebacker, right? Boom, right here. And you do have the body right here for Zinter to pick up the second blitzer. You can see his face coming here. The issue is Zinter is trying to help Vistardis, it seems, instead of recognizing that, yeah, there's one more blitzer right behind his butt that I need to account for, right? You can see right here, Zinter is blocking the same guy that Vistardis is, instead of Zinter occupying this gap here, getting a little bit of width and absorbing this rush from this linebacker. So that leaves McNamara a bit exposed, right? One more beat and he's probably getting sacked here, and it is still a quarterback hurry probably in the stat sheet. So it could have been done a little bit better. On the other side, both Hayes and Keegan do a good job on the left side of the offensive line. So looking at the routes here real quick, you're going to have just kind of a little sit route here from Roman Wilson. He's just going to stop right here. You have kind of an inside release slant route from Sainristil. And then you have this kind of corner route for Cornelius Johnson that's going to be thrown to. So it's probably, that's the initial read from McNamara. You can see his eyes never really leave there. He's targeting that all the way, recognizing probably that this guy is not in a position to break on this ball, right? You got single coverage. Thing I like most about this catch, strong hands, right? Throughout this catch, he showed it on the next play I'll show as well, but really strong hands. This angle made it seem like it wasn't a catch, and I sent out a tweet about it that I may have deleted just because, right, it looks like he for sure has controlled the ball, but we don't see that right toe, right? That right toe is off the screen right now. So to me, I was like, uh-oh, his right toe didn't touch right there, and the first thing that touches is seemingly this toe right here, and he's out of bounds. So that was my initial thought, and I was like, damn, how do you not catch that? But then this angle right here showed appropriately that, yeah, that right foot, that right toe gets in. So good job keeping both hands on the ball there. He does a really good job being really strong with that as he secures the catch, gets that single foot down, and that's 6 for the Wolverines. So good job, good execution, well-placed ball, and I give credit to Cornelius Johnson for being strong with those hands.
McNamara sprints out, throws on the move, and it's caught.
Really well executed quick out here. For the routes, it's just a quick concept. McNamara is obviously going out this way. The route is just kind of a quick out here, get to the pylon. The ball should be thrown anywhere around here in one-on-one coverage here. That's a winning matchup. On the backside, you're going to have Eric All kind of at the lower level here. Roman Wilson, outside release. He's getting depth for the back of the end zone. So for whatever reason, if this isn't there, you have your second and third option to go to as McNamara rolls out. For the blocking, it's pretty simple. Everyone not on a route. They're just going to the right here. Again, not just ensuring that there's no penetration coming through here to threaten the path of the ball here to the pylon. So that's their main objective. You can see no pressure. You got McNamara getting depth on this rollout so he can step into this pass a little bit, right? That's why he's gaining depth so he can step forward here and deliver a good ball. I would argue the ball could have been thrown a little earlier. He's got to recognize on this route, and a subtle thing I noticed is the eyes looking back here and kind of the gear down for Cornelius Johnson right here. He's trying to sell this fade, right? If he's trying to sell a fade, boom, you just go kind of towards the back of the end zone here. Him looking back is what's trying to sell, number one, that a fade is incoming. So that's going to trigger this guy to get more depth in the end zone. If he thinks there's a fade, it's all about positioning, closing out right this sideline, getting more depth here and beating the wide receiver to that sideline, cutting that off, using it as an extra defender there. So with those eyes, it does get number one to bite on that a little bit. You can see now as he's making that out and McNamara is making this throw, you got a lot of real estate for this ball to get to where you still get your 2 points on this conversion. So I like kind of, you can notice the kind of gear down I mentioned right here. It's kind of starting to look like a fade, and then he really plants his feet and turns, and the ball is there. So you could argue that McNamara should be throwing the ball starting right now, right? Instead, he's maybe a half a beat late, but it's still a really well thrown ball. Again, good placement away from the cornerback. Good recovery, actually, from number one here. But again, strong hands from Cornelius Johnson, and that's the difference in this one, right? So well-timed play overall, even if it is maybe half a beat late from McNamara, but really nice route, sold it with the eyes, and again, strong hands. Cornelius Johnson securing that catch for 2 more points.
Are part of their identity this year. McCarthy drops it in. McCarthy, touchdown, Michigan.
About the least enthusiastic Gus Johnson call I've ever heard here. So in terms of the routes, main thing we're looking at is kind of this outside release go route. It is close to the sideline. Of course, you're starting on the right hash, so not a lot of room for Dalen Baldwin to work with. Only 4 on pressure, I believe 1, 2, 3, and 4 late blitz from this linebacker. On the backside, I think he is running a post route here. I believe that Sainer still probably a deep go route on the outside. I believe that's Andrel Anthony. I could be wrong. And you got Donovan Edwards out of the backfield. He's going to leak out to the right as well into the flat. So that's what you're looking at. Oh, I also forgot to mention the tight end here on a crossing route. All right, that's your bonus route there that I forgot about. So this is just a read right away. It seems like J.J. McCarthy is probably checking that deep safety, ensuring he has one-on-one coverage there with that post route here from your slot that's going to occupy the safety. So he's probably checking, is that safety going to trigger down and cover this? If so, I got one-on-one coverage on the outside. So that's probably what he's looking at. And really, pass blocking is there, right? This is a relatively quick throw, so Stuber is the important block here. But everyone is doing fine. This is too late of a developing blitz on the outside here for it to ever get home. And this is just a case of this is about as perfect of a ball as you could place. Right in stride, right in the outstretched arms there of Dalen Baldwin. Honestly, you can't put the ball any better than that. So he has a step. Because he doesn't have to gear down. That's the difference between this being a tackle and a touchdown, right? If he has to slow down slightly, this cornerback doesn't have to make a diving attempt for the tackle and can probably wrap up the feet. So again, that perfect ball placement is the difference between this being a touchdown or not. And again, you just can't deliver it much better than that, right? That's just perfect passing from J.J. McCarthy, and that's that's a 5-star talent, right? And give a lot of credit to Dalen Baldwin as well at the end of this play, able to keep his feet after that swipe. It's a good swipe from the defensive back, so by maintaining his balance there, he's rewarded with a touchdown. It's a good job.